Friday morning. You hear that music? That means Kelli Hart is someplace in the area, and she's right next to me here at the Paddock Mall in the WOCA studios, ready to bring you another edition of Ocala Magazine Radio. Good morning, Kelli. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good
Fine, thank you. Good to see you.
You are a busy lady.
Yeah?
We were talking all morning about the mud thing, by the way.
I heard.
Because Dan's been sitting in because Robin's out, so
Yes.
he was telling us about his... and I didn't even know. He showed me the photograph, and I said, wow, that looked like fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Did you do it?
Well, I didn't get to do it from start to finish. I kind of did some sections to make sure that the flow and what we intended was happened. But then the day of, I was too busy doing registration and things of that nature. So I didn't get to do it start to finish.
So now, maybe next year. Is it going to be an annual event?
I think April will be our next one.
Okay.
So then if that's the case, I'm going to make sure that I'm able to do it start to finish.
So today you have a panel of gentlemen.
I do. Well, we've been talking about Ocala Magazine's Best of the Best Awards, which are in full swing. And last week we had the Best Coffee House nominees. And this week we have Best Chef nominees.
Okay.
That's why I have my apron on.
I see.
To keep with the theme of the show and to get with the spirit of cooking and chefing it up. So in studio this morning, I have Felix from The Braised Onion. I have Chad Karp from La Cuisine and Chef Curtis Dean of Chef Curtis Creations. Good morning, guys. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Two of our other nominees were not able to be here this morning, and that was Rick Alaba of the Ivy House, although he said he may have an opportunity to call in during the show. So we hope that he'll be able to do that.
Phone.
And then also Jim Schumann of Cuvée.
Okay.
Also, so if they're able to call in, that would be great, and we'd love to hear from them. In the meanwhile, I'll go ahead and get started with Felix from The Braised Onion. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So, Felix, tell me, you've been doing this for a long, long time. You've owned several businesses, and Ocala knows you very well and loves everything that you guys do and supports you. But tell us how The Braised Onion came to be.
Well, the braised onion. The whole comfort food concept is something that I've incorporated before in my past restaurants. This time, the Lemieux, basically, Betty and Raul, they've owned that building for, God knows, forever, since the 70s. It was rustic inn, rustic grill. And they've been talking to myself and my wife over the last 5 or 6 years about maybe doing something over there. And I basically came up with a couple different concepts, and this is the one that we chose to go with. It's basically, for me, it's something I think that the town needs is, you see some other places that do regular, real American food, but nothing that's chef-driven. It's more chain-ish type things. I don't want to mention any names, but everything we do is from scratch, and I love the gravies and the sauces and the homemade salad dressings, and we do all our own desserts. I have a girl that works for me that I'm teaching from scratch, and she's coming along good. And I like that, to have everything made, by our own two hands, so to speak, as opposed to, straight from the freezer to your table like a lot of places do, I don't know. I've been doing this for 40 years now, and I still love to cook.
How did you get started? How did you know this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm good at?
Truthfully, growing up, my mom was a nurse. She worked that 3 to 11 shift, and we'd come home from school, and she'd be going to work. So after a year or so of cooking for my brother and my sister, it was like, are you going to make the same thing again? So I started looking through her cookbooks back then, and trust me, not all those first experiments worked very well either. But I'm like, hey, you guys pushed me to make this. Now you're going to eat it, which was fun too. And then I remember I was 15, and Long John Silver's on Silver Springs Boulevard had an ad in the newspaper. My mom's like, you cook pretty good now. Why don't you go apply for a job? I'm like, do I really want to cook for a living? I said, well, let me go check it out. And I remember when I applied there was one guy sitting at a desk in the middle of an open field with a tractor clearing the land. He goes, you're the first person to show up because you got the job.
Wow.
And I did get the job. I went back and got it. And I'm still cooking 40 years later.
That's great.
Go figure.
And we're glad. We're glad because it's delicious. I know my family has been there on Mother's Day for the brunch that you guys have. And at Christmas time, Santa Claus was there. So Lily got to come and meet Santa Claus. And so that was a lot of fun.
It is fun.
And it's beautiful. The setting and the decor. I love all of the stuff that you guys have all over the walls and some of the events that you guys have there. Because I know there's been a couple different things.
Yeah, we have
recently.
lots of events. Once a month we have a wine tasting. This past one we actually actually did a whiskey tasting. So our liquor provider paired several whiskeys with some savory and some sweet dishes. And let's see, we also have 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have a live piano. And anytime the restaurant can be rented out for functions and things like that. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know about the piano thing. So that's something I'll have to look into.
They're going to kill me for not remembering their last names, but we have Bob on Tuesdays and Shima on Thursdays, or I might have it backwards. It might be Bob then Shima.
But I'm sure there's something on is there something on Facebook or the website
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
about it?
I'm
Okay,
sure
very good. All right, thank you, and we'll come back to you. And I'm going to move on to Chef Curtis Dean. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us, Chef, because what you do as a chef is a little bit less traditional than these guys. You don't just go in and open up and run a facility, but you have brought to Ocala a concept that is very unique to you, and I have to give you credit for it because I've lived here 34 years, and other than what is it, the doing dinner where you go in and make it and bring it home and freeze it, what you do is you actually go into people's homes, prepare the food there, make dinner for them, for busy working people, and so that concept is very unique. So tell us how you've come up with that.
I've always loved to cook. It's always been something that I've done my whole life. But one thing that I saw was that there's just not enough time in the day anymore. Right. People are harried. They're running everywhere. They're doing everything. My thing was trying to bring family time back to dinner time.
Right.
I think if we can get people around the table to sit down for a few minutes and talk and do their highs and lows for the day and those kind of things, it brings us closer. And there's just not time for that. Mom doesn't have time. She picks up the kids from soccer or from t-ball or whatever, and dad's getting late from a meeting, and by the time you get home, you stop and pick up something that's fast food and it's not healthy, or not that all fast food's not healthy, but you're running and going, you know, and those kind of things. So what I provide is a service where you can come home and open your fridge and you can have a chef-prepared meal that you can pop in the oven, and in 15 to 30 minutes have something that's nutritious and exactly what you want. And if you want Italian tonight and your husband wants German and the kids want something that's more child for them, you can have exactly what you want, because we make it personal. The menu's personalized to you.
That's great.
And so it's very, I guess personalized is what I'm trying to say, but it's also very freeing in that you get to do what you want to.
Right. Well, it is nice that it is personally prepared for you, because you could be a vegan, you may have allergies, certain organic foods that you like, dislike, or you might just have something that you love to eat and don't, like you say, you don't have time to make it and cut and chop and put all these ingredients together. So I think that it's great that you do that. And I know that you have a new venture coming as well downtown. Tell us about that.
We do. One of the things is, my wife and I started Chef Curtis's Creations about a year and a half ago. And as we were doing these meals, people would request us for desserts. They'd want to do desserts, and that is not my forte. And Chef Joan is really, really great at that. And so she started doing cakes, and she started doing cupcakes, and people just started requesting them more and more and more. And so we've been working under the cottage law out of our home, and even there she does close to 500 to 1,000 cupcakes a month out of our home. And so we finally, we got a business partner, and we formed a company, and we're actually going to be opening up the Curious Cupcakes Cafe and Bakery down on Fort King Street. And we hope to open next week if everything goes right. And we're going to do the cupcakes, breads, soup, salads, sandwiches, something different every day. It's all changing. And it's the Curious Cupcake because she doesn't do standard flavors. She doesn't do chocolate and vanilla and boring stuff. She does a beer and bacon cupcake. She does a pretzel cupcake with a salted caramel ganache, and just all kinds of like we have a Tatuca cupcake made specifically for that business.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's a vanilla cupcake with a chocolate frosting, but it has cayenne pepper in it. So it's got a great bite to it. And so it's really popular.
That's great. So how can we get more information as far as the opening? Is it on Facebook?
We do have a Facebook page. The Curious Cupcake is on Facebook, and we're going to be updating that. Like I said, right now we just got approval from the city yesterday.
Oh, good.
So all that's going along. Now we got to get the state to sign off on it, and so hopefully from there we'll be ready to go. We're thinking Wednesday we're just going to do a soft opening, open the doors, kind of work out some of the kinks as there always are in a new place, and then have a grand opening in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's exciting.
Thank you
And
very much.
downtown could really use something like that. Absolutely. That's great to hear. And let's come back to Felix, and I want to talk to Felix about catering. Do you guys offer catering?
Yes, we do. We do quite a bit of catering.
Okay, because I know brides are always, and not just brides, we always think of brides when it comes to catering, but I know that a lot of businesses like to do luncheons, or they'll have guest speakers come and then they'll provide lunch, for the staff and then the people visiting. So tell us a little bit about catering.
We do the full gambit of catering. I mean, this weekend we have, small off-premise catering. I have one that's a large party. I think it's 150, 200 people, but we're just doing the sides for it. The vegetables and the macaroni and cheese and the starches to go with it. And we do a lot of stuff like that too. Because how it is, people they'll do their own barbecue, they'll get their own smoked meat or something like that, and then they want real mashed potatoes. They want my macaroni and cheese, southern green beans, stuff like that. But for the major caterings, it's my wife's forte. Marge is dealing with the brides and the families, and I don't know. I always say she gets them in and I get them back. Once I
that's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
Once I feed you, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. But she'll. I've seen brides that are that you have that mother of the bride that's the picky one, that's the driven one that'll go from place to place shopping something. And once they talk to Marge, and Marge will be like, well, when you go to your next place, here's the questions I want you to ask. And they'll go, no, we're not going anywhere now. Right. And that's a lot of what it's about, too, is making the people feel comfortable with the people that they're working with.
Yes, a lot of it is product, and then a lot of it is also the service.
I'm never late, and I never run out of food.
Very good.
That's the bottom line.
Well, we have a call, so we're going to take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hi, it's Rick Allable.
Hi, Rick. How are you? I'm so glad you could call.
No problem.
I know you're busy this morning, so we won't keep you, but what I wanted to do was allow you an opportunity to talk to our listeners and let us know exactly what it is that makes you guys unique. I know you're relatively new to Ocala, but not to the business itself. And so if you could just let our listeners know a little bit about the Ivy House and what makes you guys unique.
Well, I've been in Ocala for approximately 12 years. So I'm not new here. So I've been here a little while.
Okay.
But at the Ivy House, we do southern cuisine with a innovative twist. So it's not, there's a difference between country food and southern food, and there's a fine line with that. So we just do some innovative foods that have, a little more upscale twist to it.
Yes, and it is delicious, and I also love that not only is the food southern, but the charm of the building and the atmosphere is as well. Do you guys, because you do have a boutique there, and I don't want to go off on that tangent, although it's extremely adorable, and I encourage people to stop by and look at all of the gifts, but I want to talk specifically about you as far as being a chef there and how you got involved in this industry.
Well, I moved here in 2000. That was 99. I was the chef at Golden Ocala for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
And I had met Mimi years ago because we had ate because there's a restaurant that's in Williston, has been there 22 years, and we became dear friends. And she had asked me to come help her with the Alachua store. We have a restaurant in Alachua too, and. She was telling me she was building this one, and I said, I'd like to help you do this. And I just, I could not leave. I really wanted to be part of this, and that's how this one in Ocala got started. And it obviously is a different menu than the one there, but it's a whole different thing for me because my background is luxury boutique hotels and fine dining. This is just off my beaten path, but when, it's something to do the food and be a chef and be passionate about it, but with the people that are around you that you love is the most important thing, I think.
Absolutely.
That you got to be with those people. It's the most important thing is that you're around people, and you're around them so much, and the business itself is so hard and so demanding, and it just drains you. But when you're around people that you really want to be around, it becomes very easy.
That's true. Now tell us, what's your favorite thing on the menu?
We have a crispy chicken that has been around. It's a 50-year-old recipe, that has been around, and all the people that eat it go, that they just love it because they probably have it once every 2 weeks, and I think that's my favorite one. Fried shrimp is probably the other one that they do, and it's another secret little thing that they do to the shrimp, but it's just, if you knew what it was, you would go, gosh, I wish I could do that, or it's just so simple. It is just as simple as you can be, but it's something they came up with, and it's a little secret they locked away.
Well, too bad. We're not going to get it.
Mimi, yeah, not those two.
Well, good. Well, I'm not going to keep you. I'll let you get back. But thank you so much for calling in. Congratulations on being nominated for our Best of the Best, and keep driving votes your way.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, now we'll go back to Chad, and let's talk a little bit about, as far as the catering goes. We talked to Felix, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about the facility itself and how it's available for rent. Because I know at one time I had set up I think it was a bridal shower or something in there, and it's just absolutely gorgeous inside.
Yeah, our ambiance is really lovely. It really is.
It's fantastic.
And so for larger parties, you can privatize the restaurant. We can do a menu specifically designed for your tastes. We also have a private room in the front of the restaurant there that looks out on First Avenue, I believe. And so if you want a smaller party, like a lunch meeting for a business or something like that, we can do that. Yeah.
And you guys are all so conveniently located. I mean, it's not off the beaten path. All of you guys are pretty close, but do such a diverse, different type menu. It's great because if somebody wants something that's French cuisine, they'll have one place to go, and so they can bounce back and forth. And it's nice that you guys are so close, and in some very amazing buildings. I mean, I love driving past the Raised Onion at night when the lights are all up the tree. Did you do that? Did you climb up there and do that?
No, I did not. Not personally, that's for sure.
Whoever did those lights did a fantastic job, and I don't know how they did it, but I mean, they are up there.
With a bucket truck.
Well, it's amazing. It's one of the best parts of that street, especially at night. And Chef Curtis, I know that you had told me that you also were going to be doing something in the way of events. We had talked about a particular little 6-year-old's birthday party that's coming up soon that I need to talk to you about. But what are you guys planning in the way of events at the Curious Cupcake?
We are going to be doing... the shop is small, but we are going to be doing some birthday parties for kids. We're going to be closed on Sundays, but we will be, again, open to rent out if you want to do bridal showers or those kind of things. And also, we're opening up an event venue down on Magnolia, and that's going to be mine. That's where our commercial kitchen is going to be.
Okay.
So we're going to have a commercial kitchen and a venue there that'll hold 50 to 75 people to do parties as well. But with the kids' parties at the Curious Cupcake, they get to decorate their own cupcakes, play games. We're going to have a photo booth for them to take pictures. So it's going to be very kid-centric and a lot of fun. And Chef Joan she's the biggest kid out there, so she's going to love getting in there and helping them decorate the cupcakes and doing all that stuff, and everybody gets to take one home and photographs of themselves, and it's going to be a ball.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. And if you guys have not been to the Braised Onion, to La Cuisine, if you have not ever worked with Chef Curtis, make sure you are looking for his opening so you can check him out, as well as the Ivy House and Cuvée. They all have such a unique menu, and the flavors and the ambiance, everything is just so wonderful. And I want to congratulate all of you guys for being nominated for our Best of the Best. I'm sure it's tough. This year the categories were tough. We wanted to make sure that the people in there were, when people look at these categories, they think, oh my gosh, they're all so great. Because that's kind of the point, that they all be so great, that they're all nominated. So it's going to be tough competition, and I know we can't wait to get the results back from when they come back at the end of October. So it's October 25th. You can go to ocalamagazine.com and vote, and I think there's 50 categories for you to vote through, look through, and click on your favorites and support your local businesses. And it will be announced, of course, in the December issue, but we encourage everybody to go to ocalamagazine.com. You can also go to our Facebook page, and there's a link there. And speaking of the magazine, it's the beginning of a new month, and so we have a new issue coming out, and it will be out on stands within the next day or two. It's a very exciting issue. It is our medical advances issue, so there's a lot of really great medical information on there. There's also some great features, a Hollywood expose that I'm sure everyone will enjoy reading, with a lot of pictures of some of our favorite celebrities back many years ago.
All right.
So those are always unique because those are glimpses we usually don't get to take. And then there's also some information on some of the alleged haunted homes that are in the historic Ocala district. So that's some interesting storytelling, something you might want to read at night by candlelight or something. But it's a beautiful issue. Our cover is fantastic, and it will be out soon, so we want to encourage everybody to start looking for that. And I want to thank you guys. I know your mornings and your days are busy, and yet you were able to be here, so I certainly appreciate that. And best of luck to all of you guys in the voting this year.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Larry, for having us this morning.
And thank you, of course.
All right.
Good show. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could? Everybody tells me how the rock and roll is gonna suit my soul. I don't care about no rockin' jive.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Clouds and sunshine today, high 86 to 89. Partly cloudy tonight. A late night shower in spots near the coast, low 68 to 74. Clouds and sunshine tomorrow with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, high 85 to 88. And a blend of clouds